Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Minute Wave Lounge, hot flashes and cool conversations. I'm Coach Robin. Today we have Dr. Rani with us, and she is a board certified neuro-ophthalmologist. Welcome in. Thank you for being on our show today.
Thanks so much, Robin, for having me back on the Men Wave Lounge podcast. I'm really excited to be here.
I am excited to have you here too. So, Dr. Rani is a board certified neuro-ophthalmologist and integrative vision health expert who focuses on how menopause reshapes the brain eye network. She blends neuroscience, nutrition, hydration, sleep science, and holistic wellness to help women protect their vision, reduce hormone-driven eye symptoms, and strengthen long-term optical nerve and brain vision health. She is the best-selling author of Beyond Carrots and a trusted national media voice for women navigating vision disruptions, migraine, dry eye, and neurological resilience in menopause. Thank you for coming in. That's a mouthful, but wow, what a great topic. I don't think very many people have put this together, and I'm so excited to be talking about this today.
Yeah, this is a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. Being a woman, having gone through some of these perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal changes, I know how important it is to raise awareness amongst patients, but also their providers. Like a lot of providers don't make this connection between hormones and our vision, and I think we just need to be aware of it and open our eyes to these issues.
Can you talk to us a little bit about what that connection is between menopause and hormones and vision?
Absolutely. So we know that during perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, our hormone levels are fluctuating. They're slowly decreasing. And interestingly, it's not just estrogen levels that are important for our eyes, it's also progesterone and testosterone. So it's actually all the sex hormones, not just the female sex hormones, but the male sex hormones as well. When they decline, there can be changes that happen structurally in the eyes. For example, we have these tiny glands on our eyelids that produce oils. Those glands have hormone receptors. And when our hormone levels decline, those glands don't produce healthy oils, and that can lead to dry eye. That's just one example whereby hormonal shifts can impact our vision. All of a sudden, you may never have had any eye issues before when you were younger, but all of a sudden it feels like your eyes are just going down the tube. And all these things are happening, all these new symptoms you never had before, like dry eye or blurriness, even migraines, which is another area that we can talk about, increase in migraines or changes in migraines because of hormonal shifts. So I think it's really important for people to understand this connection and be aware of it so that they can better manage it if and when it does happen.
That is so true. I'm postmenopausal, and so I experience a lot of these different symptoms, dry eye, blurriness. Sometimes I have to take a moment to refocus because my eyes are like looking here and then I want to look distant, and it's okay, my eyes are not adjusting like they used to when they were 20 years old. I understand that this is part of the aging process. So, what are some of the things that we might not suspect about vision and hormones?
You brought up a really good point, Robin, that there are some age-related vision changes that we all experience. It happens both to men and women. It does happen more as we get older. Those types of changes could be things like cataracts or floaters. Those are age-related changes that happen in the eyes and not directly related to hormone levels. Then there are the other things that increase one's risk of eye disease. I mentioned dry eye, which is very common in menopausal, postmenopausal women. If I see a woman who's above the age of 55 and they don't have dry eye, that's an exception. The vast majority of women in practice have dry eye who are in that age group. Number two, and this is a little tricky because a lot of patients don't have symptoms of this, of macular degeneration increases as we get older. Yes, both men and women have an increased risk of macular degeneration, but particularly women have a much higher risk of it. And it has to do with hormones. We don't exactly understand the intricacies, like the exact mechanisms, but we know that declining hormone levels can predispose women to vision loss from macular degeneration. Similar to that is glaucoma. And these are things that most people think of, oh, that's something that happens as we get older. I don't have any symptoms, but a lot of these eye conditions don't have symptoms in the early stages. So it's important to get your eyes checked once a year and be screened for these things. Glaucoma is also much, much more prevalent in women, especially during menopause. And for sure, hormone levels play a role. And it's unfortunate that the research hasn't been done yet as to exactly why hormone levels play a role. We know that women are more predisposed to these eye issues later in life than men, and hormones have something to do with it. The research hasn't been done. I think it's something that we really, as eye care providers, need to be aware of and focus more on so we can serve our patients better, even though the research hasn't been done to figure out the exact mechanism.
I had never really put that connection together, especially for glaucoma. That might have something to do with our hormones, but that makes perfect sense because our body is completely connected to all our organs and hormones and how they play a part in our menopause journey. This is really interesting. Women should really pay attention to what their eyes are telling them, right? In getting checked regularly. If something like this was to start coming on, what can they do?
If a patient has a symptom, then definitely get it checked out. For example, we were talking earlier about blurry vision, right? So if somebody's having blurry vision, if it's coming and going, maybe it's after being on screens all day, like we all do, maybe you're getting some blurriness, trouble focusing. Don't just wait for it to get better on its own. Get it checked out because there are multiple reasons why someone may have blurry vision. It could be dry eye, it could be cataract. It could be something more serious, like diabetes, for example, can cause blurry vision that comes and goes. Or even pre-diabetes can do that. When blood sugar levels are fluctuating, it can cause intermittent blurry vision. Because women are so much more predisposed to vision issues and even blindness than men, it's best to be proactive about it. Go get it checked out by either your local ophthalmologist or optometrist. Make sure you get a complete exam, not just for glasses, because a lot of people think, oh, my vision's fine. I have 20/20 vision. I don't need to go to the eye doctor. But going to the eye doctor is not just about getting a glasses prescription. It's so much more than that. It's screening for some of these other diseases that can happen as we get older. Many of these conditions don't have symptoms in their earliest stages. And that's why it's critical to get it checked out. We need to go get our mammograms once a year. We need to get colonoscopies every 5 years. We need to see our dentist twice a year. That's been ingrained in our health journey, but make sure that you make your vision a priority as well. Make that appointment with your eye doctor. Don't let it go for 2, 3 years. They may be able to catch something that could impact your eye health and prevent you from losing vision or going blind in the future.
Absolutely. Wow, that really sparked something for me. I always put it on the back burner, never really thought about it. I just figured it was old age, but that makes so much sense.
And I'll say one other thing, Robin. I'm sorry to interrupt you. People think about the five senses, right? Our vision, our hearing, our taste, our touch, and our smell. Most people would say of those five senses, our vision is the most precious, right? And we use it for everything we do. We use it to be on our devices, to drive, to cook, to see the faces of our loved ones. So if our vision is the number one sense for our daily activities, why is it that we just take it for granted? Why is it that we don't go see our eye doctor? Just put it in perspective, value your vision, don't take it for granted because God forbid someday you wake up and your vision's not good and there's a serious problem going on. Just be proactive about it. Put it on the calendar today, like anyone listening to this podcast, call your eye doctor, make that appointment right after you finish listening to this podcast.
I'm going to make sure that I'm seeing my eye doctor. Thank you for bringing this to our awareness. If women want to do things that are proactive to help protect their vision, what could be some of the things that they could do to
Yeah,
help?
that's a wonderful question. And I would say the number one, two, and three thing to do is to support your eyes with nutrition. There have been many studies, whether it has to do with dry eye, macular degeneration, glaucoma, or even cataracts. There are so many studies proving that if you have the right nutrients in your diet, you can stave off vision loss. We know that plants are really important. So eating lots of green leafy vegetables, not just carrots. That's why I call my book Beyond Carrot, because a lot of people just think, oh, if I just have a few carrots a day, I'll be fine, or a few carrots a week, my vision will be 20/20. Unfortunately, that's not true. But if you have a diversity of other plants like fruits, vegetables, like I said, leafy greens are wonderful, corn, and then colorful fruits like depending on the season, obviously, but like mangoes, peaches, nectarines, like you see that there's a color theme here. So greens and oranges and yellows are really important. Also, make sure you're getting enough omega-3s. Many people have heard about the benefits of omega-3s for health reasons, for heart health and brain health and skin health. But just as it's important for all those other organs and organ systems, omegas are very important for our eyes, and our eyes really rely on omegas, particularly DHA and EPA, which are both omega-3s. And so they rely on for helping to produce oils to prevent dry eye. They rely on these omega-3s for our retinal health. And actually, this is a fun fact here, the highest concentration of omega-3 in the body, DHA, is actually in the eye, in the retinal photoreceptors. So we need it for structure, we need it for function. And of course, we need the omegas for our brain as well. And the eyes are very intimately connected with our brain. So if you support your eye health, you're also supporting your brain health. For omega-3s, some of the best sources are fatty fish. I oftentimes refer to the acronym SMASH, which is, and I'll see if I can remember this all. SMASH stands for salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring. So again, those are the SMASH, that's the SMASH acronym, those five types of fish. If you don't eat fish, or if you don't like fish, personally, I happen to be vegetarian slash vegan, so I don't have fish in my diet, but you can get your healthy omega-3s from seeds, specifically chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds. Make sure you're including these in your diet. Maybe sprinkle them on top of salads, into stir fries or in a smoothie. This will get you the omega-3s your eyes need and your brain needs to stay healthy. And then I talked about a bunch of different types of foods. The other important type, I'll just say a big category of nutrients for our eyes are bioflavonoids. And you may say, what are they? I've never heard of that before. I've heard of vitamins, but what are bioflavonoids? Bioflavonoids are very common in nature. They give plants their colorful appearance and they protect plants from disease and infection. So they protect the plant. And so when we plants that are rich in bioflavonoids, they protect our bodies as well, and they protect our eyes. The ones that have been most researched for eye health are quercetin, which is a bioflavonoid, and it's found in reddish purple types of foods like red onions, certain berries, apples, like the skin of red apples, and grapes. So make sure you're getting like the red and purples in your diet. I talked earlier about the leafy greens, the oranges, the yellows. Make sure you're getting the reds and purples. And then also spices are part of the bioflavonoid category. So spices like turmeric, curcumin, cayenne pepper, and even saffron, like all of these spices, remember, they're very colorful. And so they can have protective benefits for our eyes and our whole bodies. I talk about all these amazing foods in my book, Beyond Carrots. I go through the whole alphabet from A to Z, and I give over 40 different examples of foods that can benefit your eye health. So please check it out if you want to learn about nutrition for your eyes.
Wow, it sounds like eating a rainbow.
Exactly. You hit it on the nail, Robin. Eating the rainbow, and I'm not talking about Skittles or M&Ms, not artificial colors, but natural colors the way nature intended.
Yes, it's so important that when you open up your refrigerator, you should be able to see all the different colors of the greens and the reds. Beets came to mind. I love a nice beet salad with some gorgonzola cheese and some seeds on top of it.
Some spinach in there too.
And
Yeah.
spinach. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Absolutely. Oh, and nuts. Nuts are wonderful for eye health, whether it's walnuts, cashews, almonds. My favorite is pistachios. All these nuts have lots of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and they also have healthy omegas. So make sure you're having nuts in your diet. I typically recommend a quarter cup to half a cup a day of nuts.
Once you put nuts in front of me, boy, I'm always snacking on those. I would definitely recommend that you have these in your cupboards and in your refrigerator so that when you are going for something, you have good healthy things in front of you, sweets and the carbos and all that kind of stuff. So I always try to make sure that my cupboards and refrigerator are full of the good healthy stuff because it's just as easy to eat good and healthy as it is to eat junk food. So that's
And
excellent.
and I'm so glad you brought that up, Robin, because we often get tempted. When we see something in front of us, we get tempted to eat things that may not be as healthy as some other things. And one thing I've started doing is I simply don't buy those unhealthy things as much anymore. Sometimes I do get it from my family mainly, but we typically don't have chips in the house anymore. And some of the other foods that I used to buy a lot of, ice cream, for example, like I still have a little bit. If you don't buy it, you can't eat it. So instead, buy the healthier stuff, and then you have choices that are in general healthier for you.
That is so true. Also, with the holidays coming up, it's really easy to slip in and go, ooh, some pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is not exactly a bad thing, especially if you make it from scratch yourself. Give yourself a little bit of a permission to say, okay, today it's a special day. I'm going to be with family and friends. And yeah, I can, within portion, eat something that might not be cookie here and some different foods that you wouldn't normally eat. And be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself. Make sure you eat well before so that when you're there, you're not overeating, but enjoy because that's what a holiday. But remember, you have a good, healthy diet on the other side of it. And so go back to your healthy diet and remember to stay hydrated, drink a lot of water as you're going through your day. Enjoy the holidays because that's what they're meant to be, is with friends and family that we love.
I always tell my patients when I talk to diet, which is a big part of my consultation, is talking to them about what they're eating, what we can modify, and then we talk about what we can exclude. But first, we talk about what we should be including. I always tell them to follow the 80-20 rule. And that basically means like 80% of the time you're eating pretty healthy. You're getting in your nutrients. Strive to eat at least three, but up to 5 cups of colorful plants a day. 3 to 5 cups should be the goal if you want to protect your eyes. And this has been shown across studies with macular degeneration, glaucoma, cataracts. Eat lots of plants and your eyes will thank you for it. Going back to the 80-20 rule, you're having your 3 to 5 cups, then your eyes are protected, your body is protected, and then you can enjoy. You can 20% of the time, you can enjoy that piece of pumpkin pie or that cookie or that cake or whatever you enjoy. I'm not saying not to have it, but just balance it out with the healthier foods.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great piece of advice, the 80-20. I really like that. I feel we as women, we're always trying to do the right thing for our body. Some of these things may seem hard, but baby step it. Maybe you're only getting 3 cups, but work on getting 4 to 5 every day.
Yeah.
Be mindful of what you're putting in your body. Think about the importance of protecting your eyes, your gut health, your brain, and how much better you're going to feel. Notice that your body is telling you that it is happy. So these are things that we get to practice every day, taking care of ourselves. And it also helps with our stress level during the holidays that we need to be aware of, not to stress ourselves out. If we feel like our plate is overloaded, it's okay to say some things and yes to others and not to feel the pressure of having to do. Take care of yourself during the holidays. That's the message there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so important. Talking about stress, this is another topic that's so important and it's under recognized. When we're under stress, our cortisol levels go up. And if it's chronic stress, they stay too elevated, and that fuels inflammation in our bodies. And you may not necessarily notice it right away, but when you're chronically stressed, your body is more in a pro-inflammatory state. And that can certainly affect your vision. I've definitely seen whenever patients come in with a new vision problem, like something acute that's happening, whether it's sudden vision loss or really bad migraines, for example, I always ask them, what's going on in your life? Tell me what's been happening that may have triggered this. And guaranteed, almost, I would say almost 100% of my patients will say, I have a lot of stress right now. And so there's a direct correlation that I've seen in my practice between acute stress on top of chronic stress and then an eye issue. What I always tell my patients is stress is part of our daily lives, right? We all have to manage stress, whether it's the holidays or something else going on. Maybe it's a health issue, maybe it's a family issue, maybe it's a financial issue. There's always stress in our lives, but it's how we respond to that stress and we learn to modulate that stress that's so important. My recommendation is whatever you're doing, even during periods, take time out of your schedule to do some kind of stress modulating activity every single day. And whether that's just
What would that
having a cup
be?
of
Give me
having a
three
cup,
stress reducing things that you would do.
well, I'll go out for a walk. And I live in New York City, so there's always the hustle and bustle of New York City, but I go to Central Park or I'll go walk by the water, the river, and it's so calming and you can really put your mind in a completely different state when you go out for a walk. And while I'm walking, I'll listen to some music. It's a way to remove yourself from everything else that's happening. Have a cup of tea. And this is also really important. Chat with someone. Don't just keep it all inside. Call a friend, call a family member, or just go knock on a neighbor's door. Have a nice discussion with them, have a conversation with them. And that will, and don't talk about the thing that's stressing you, talk about something else. Maybe it's a vacation that you're planning. Talk about something fun and enjoyable you're looking forward to, or ask them, what are they doing in their lives? And that will really help to modulate your stress. So it's not that you need to do this meditation and you have to go somewhere to do it. You can find things in your daily life that are enjoyable that will help to modulate your stress and that you can make a habit. Whether it's reading, that's a wonderful way for people to release stress as well, is to read. I try to recommend patients stay off screens when they're trying to modulate their stress. Screens can sometimes really exacerbate stress. So don't turn to social media, even though you may enjoy it. Do something, some other type of activity that's screen free to help modulate your stress.
Such good advice. Definitely. The screen thing seems to be a very popular way of like de-stressing, but it actually is one of the harsher things on our eyes. And we should really be aware and limit how much we are on our screens. When was the last time you picked up a book and read, had a conversation with a friend or a neighbor, or reached out to a family member and just said, "Hi, I was thinking about you today." So really great tips. Thank you so much for sharing those. Wow, this conversation is just so amazing. I just love this. I know that you've got a couple things that are coming up. Would you like to talk about them?
Sure. So I have been really busy this year, Robin. I hosted an online event called the Summit, which was, I basically interviewed, similar to a podcast interview, but I interviewed 36 of my colleagues in eye care about their areas of expertise. And this was a free online event that people could join from anywhere in the world. Had over 25,000 people join the summit online. And the last time we're offering the 2025 summit is during the month of of December. Even though we did it in May, May was when we launched it. You can still access day one for free during December. If you're interested to learn more about your eyes, get a sneak peek into the full summit, please register and join day one. You can watch December 31st. And then there's an option to upgrade to the VIP All Access Pass, which gives you all 36 interviews plus a lot of bonus material. You can really learn a lot about nutrition and other lifestyle strategies to help you support your eyes. I had one colleague who talked about traditional Chinese medicine and acupuncture. Another one of my experts talked about mindset in our vision and how what we think about our eyes plays such an impact on the quality of our vision. So there's a lot of great information, tips, and insights in the summit. So I hope you all will join us. And we're going to do it again in 2026. So we're going to do another summit that'll be released in May of 2026.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. So we will have the links below. So please check it out. We'll also have Dr. Ronnie's website information so that you can reach out and talk to her. Thank you, Dr. Ronnie, for coming on and sharing all this wonderful information with us. This has just been such a pleasure having you.
Oh, thank you, Robin. It's been a lot of fun, and I love your energy and your positivity. So please continue doing what you're doing and putting all that good information out to the world.
Thank you. I learned so much, and I'm so blessed by having all these wonderful providers come on, talk about the things that they enjoy, their passions. And here we are, we're sharing it with you in the world. And if there's somebody that is out there, a friend, a family that needs to hear this, please send it on, pass it on. Please hit subscribe. Go check out the Menopause Women's Support Group on Facebook. Check out minowave.org. We will have all these in the show notes below, and reach out. Let us know what you think. Thank you, Dr. Ronnie, for being on our show today. And thank you, audience, for being here. This is the Minowave Lounge, hot flashes and cool conversations.
Thank you.